Have you experienced something you can't speak about? Or maybe you thought no one was there to listen? Every day people are facing issues with mental health, substance abuse, relationships, and more. We here at Hulchul TV care. It's time to break down these barriers, and it's time to give voice to the silent. Join me every week on Troubleshoot, where we do exactly that. Welcome to Troubleshoot. I'm your host, Divya Rajan. Today I want to look at an issue that needs to get more attention in the spotlight, Shadeism. It's a form of racism, but the difference is instead of being between communities, it happens within a community. Essentially, it's the discrimination based on skin tone. In a lot of communities, there's this impression that the lighter your skin is, the more beautiful or the more valuable you are. And this mentality needs to change. But the first step is talking about the problem. Joining me today is someone who's seen this around her in both her personal life and professional life. Welcome to Shanthini. What is your personal experience with Shadeism?
As you can see, I'm like caramel skin tone, and for a while, like since I was very young, my skin was praised for that. And recently, like I saw Shadeism in another form where people would try to lighten me and give me a skin tone that was kind of like North Indian skin tone, and I'm Sri Lankan, so that's completely opposite of what I look like. And yeah.
How did these experiences shape the way you defined beauty?
To be honest, I think it's because right now, I think everyone, like my self-esteem and how I perceive beauty is very open to what I used to see it as. And so when I see stuff where people are changing the way I look completely, I'm just like taken back, because I'm just like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? This is not okay. You're showing me that this is this is all that's pretty and this is all that's beautiful. And it makes it seem like I'm endorsing that type of mentality when in reality, that's not how it should be.
I understand that you're a model, and as you said, people are often changing the way you look. So how has Shadeism affected your career?
Before I would not mention, tried to match my skin tone because I thought that was the norm. So whenever people put my makeup on and I look in the mirror and I'm like, I'm taken back, but obviously I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And they ask me how I feel, and I'm like, oh, I love it. This is amazing. But recently, a couple months ago, I started mentioning when I'm talking to the employers that I'm a brown girl, just so you know. Maybe my Instagram makes you think I'm a lighter skin tone. I don't know why, because I'm always showing my skin to the truest potential possible. And even when I'm getting my makeup ready, I'm talking all the time. And I mentioned that this is something I find irritating when they make me a lighter skin tone, because I'm a brown girl. I should have brown makeup.
Exactly. And do you ever find that they react poorly when you tell them this?
No, they laugh and say, of course. And that's what takes, when they say that, it makes me think, okay, maybe I could trust this lady. And then I look in the mirror and I'm not what I wanted to see. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, okay. And it's really bad, but usually I do say, oh my gosh, I love it, because we were brought up in a way where we shouldn't talk back to our elders. And not to mention all that product that they put on you. You don't want to be that person that's not grateful. You don't want to waste their time and effort. And in their eyes, that's what's beautiful. And they spent time, money, effort. So I don't want to be that person to say, take it off. So usually I tolerate it.
That's the unfortunate thing about this, is that you have to be the understanding one and you have to be the tolerant one. And that it's more considered rude that you say you don't like this than them to do it to you. And that's why I'm doing this episode, is because it's become socially accepted to find fair skin beautiful, but not socially accepted to speak out against that. So what advice would you give to other models or people in your industry who are experiencing this?
Since I'm still experiencing it, I think being very vocal about your preferences, being very open to saying no to certain individuals who you think might not work with your ideals and your type of look. I know there's some people who really enjoy those types of looks, and kudos to them. It's what you want. Just to be like, saying no is okay. My mistake was saying yes to everybody. If you ask me, I'd be like, sure. But then I would see their makeup, and I'm like, But if that's what they're going to do, that's what they're going to do to me, right? Even if I say I'm a brown person, I have darker skin tone. Sometimes you know which one is going to do it to you.
And how would you, indicate that? Did you ever feel a vibe walking in, or just at the way they look at you?
If a makeup lady tells me, whoa, you look so different from your pictures, that's my first sign. Because, why would I come in, I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, it's not even that. It's just, what did you expect?
Exactly.
When you saw my Instagram, did you expect to see someone else? And I'm pretty open to how I look. As you can see, I'm legit a homebody on this show, and even on my stories, I'm this most of the time. And it's kind of sad because most times when you go outside, this is how people look. They're in their natural form most of the time, and that should be okay. You shouldn't be like, whoa, you look so different like that. No.
Exactly. And it's just in any makeup artist. Exactly. And it's just in any makeup artist career, you think it would be easy to stay true to someone's skin tone without having to feel the need to change it. Is there anything you would like to say to someone watching this maybe who is experiencing this and feeling bad about themselves? Is there any advice or words of wisdom you could give them?
Let's see. 99% sure that you are beautiful. And if I'm thinking 1% is because you make other people feel ugly about themselves, and that makes you ugly. Let's see. I don't know. Just that you're a badass. You don't need other people to tell you you look pretty with makeup on or off. You know you're pretty. You know you're beautiful. Your skin tone doesn't make you any less.
Thank you so much for your insight. I'm sure a lot of people watching this have experienced what you've experienced or continue to experience it today. I really appreciate your words, and I am so sorry for what you've been going through. I hope to have you back on this show. We've heard how shadeism can affect your life as a young woman of color and as a model. So let's take a look even closer into the modeling industry and how deep these beliefs run. Joining me today is Raman, a Brampton-based makeup artist. Welcome, Ramandeep, and thank you for joining us today. As a makeup artist, what are your experiences with shadeism?
So, as a makeup artist, I get a lot of different type of clients, right? So, people with different type of skins, different features. Basically, there are different communities, but the problem is more with the darker skin, and the major community is ours. Mm-hmm. They definitely want to go a shade lighter than what their skin is, and specifically when they come for their bridal makeup.
Wow.
So I have seen that it looks like they've been forced to do this.
Would you say when they come in, they're asking to be have their skin tone changed?
Yes, they do.
And where would you think these pressures are coming from? Their family or their friends?
I would say, like in-laws.
Right.
Secondly, could be even their to-be husbands. Your own mother too.
Oh, wow.
Because I have brides who come with their mothers to get ready, right?
And their mothers would ask you to change their skin tone.
Yes, they will not exactly say that, but it just make them a shade lighter. So the photographs will be nice, and not exactly they will pin on it, but I can feel that.
Right. And we saw in our last interview, I spoke with a model who had experienced this, but some of the the makeup artist had assumed she wanted that, though she hadn't said anything. So how can makeup artists take measures to prevent from assuming that somebody wants to be fair?
No, nobody can assume. We only do what we are asked to do. See, when we have clients, we go according to their request. Right? I can give them suggestions, but I can't force them.
Right, and you would say that's
their
your
choice. Sorry, yeah.
And you would say that's the job of a makeup artist, is to not assume but follow instructions.
Basically, yes. I can give suggestions that I say, but if somebody have decided to go with what they want, I can't enforce anything to them.
Right.
It's just a way of suggestion.
Okay, and what can makeup artists do to, I don't know, maybe help remove this stigma? Is there anything that they can say to their clients or show their clients that could help them feel a little more comfortable in their skin?
I think, what I always say is everybody is beautiful. This is the first thing you should say as an artist, so that your client feels more comfortable, and only then you start the process. This is the first step. Makeup only enhances your features. It's not about making you darker or lighter. And this thing needs to be done by all artists. And I'm sure if, together everybody does it, it'll make a lot of difference.
And what advice do you have to makeup artists who no longer want to participate in this? How can they politely refuse to do this, to lighten someone's skin tone?
See, I said everybody wants their business and their clients. We cannot enforce this, but they can suggest. We cannot even convince.
Right. So you're saying a lot of...
say that you have a beautiful skin, and then you can enhance your features. And basically, on a darker skin tone, the colors look more beautiful than a fair skin. For a fair skin, you need to go subtle. Right. But if you have a dark skin tone, you can seriously have beautiful colors on that skin.
And I think a lot of people watching would love to hear that. I think that's very overlooked a lot of the time in the makeup industry, in the media. That darker skin does have its advantages with makeup.
Yes, definitely it is. Believe me, as an artist, I know this. I can't put a very red color on a fairer skin, but a red color really looks good on a darker skin.
And in your personal life, have you ever experienced shadeism, or what are some of your experiences seeing it around you?
I've seen it around me, but I've not personally experienced except for my clients, not with my family, not with my friends. But yes, I do know, I've been hearing stories, especially with our community, where this has been, when they tell their daughters to use a cream to make their skin lighter, or, to go on the fairer side. Yes, this has been happening.
And what can we do? As you said, it's a very big thing within the South Asian community, and often not spoken out against. What advice would you give to somebody who's experiencing shadeism and wants to speak out against it, but doesn't really know how to?
I know most of the girls don't want to tell this, but if we all stand together, we can help them. Beauty is not about color. Beauty is about features.
Right. Thank you so much, Ramandeep, for being with us
You're
today.
welcome.
And I hope to have you back on the show soon.
Definitely. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bringing awareness is just the first step. We need to do more. We need to challenge the little things we do in our day-to-day lives that tell us that this is acceptable. I hope that this episode has left you with something to think about. I'll see you next time on Troubleshoot.